Hello again. Today we'll be discussing about the further remaining part of the coal-based thermal power plants. So basically, we'll be discussing about drought system. What is a drought system and why are they used? Now we'll be discussing about drought system. Drought is basically the circulation of air created by the difference of pressure. So if there's a high pressure inside the system and low pressure outside the system or ambient pressure, so the flue gases will be flowing outside the system, and this is what we need, and this is called positive drought system. So we have natural drought system in which no blowers are used. So these are used in small thermal power plants in which the flue gases exist only via the chimney. And next we have mechanical drought systems, and these are mainly used in thermal power plants nowadays. We have induced force and balance systems. So in induced system, we place a blower just below the chimney, so it sucks the flue gases coming out the furnace, economizer and preheater, and it helps in exiting the flue gases via through the chimney. Next, we have a forced rod system in which we place a blower just below before the furnace, and it pressurizes the ambient air inside the furnace and provides oxygen for good burning, and pressurizes the flue gases to flow outside the chimney. Next, we have a balance system in which we used a forced fan and induced fan system. In this system, this is mainly used in thermal power plants because if we use only forced fan systems or forced drought systems, what happens if you open the furnace for just for inspection purpose also, the furnace may blow up, or there may some emergency cases, so it is not feasible or not generally used only the forced system. Therefore we used a balance system in which we provide air outside, and we use an induced system which sucks the air outside the furnace and helps the flue gases through to exist via the chimney. Next, we have a Rankine cycle. We have a boiler which produces heat using the coal, and this heat produced is passed through the turbine which produces work output. We have a work output over here, 3 to 4 process. Then it is passed through the condenser which releases the heat. 4 to 1 process releases the heat, and uh, we have a pump over here which pumps back the water to the boiler. Now we have a regenerative cycle. In this cycle, what we do is we increase the average temperature of the power plant to increase the efficiency. What we do is that it is generally seen that the steam produced by the boiler or the superheated steam has a lot of heat energy after it passes through the turbine. So we distribute into two parts. One is the Y part, and one remaining is the 1 minus Y part. So after the 4 to 5 process, this is the boiler process, and it passes through the turbine 5 to 6 process. We have a open feed water heater, so we use this remaining part of the steam to to heat up the water coming from the condenser and the pump. So we use the feed water heater to heat up the water coming from this condenser and pump part, and we pump the remaining part of the uh, heat to the boiler, and this is preheated water, so increase the efficiency increases of the system. Generally it was seen that water on increasing the temperature, also what happens is that the pressure also increases, so it is not practically feasible or practically possible. So we used another type of cycle, mercury cycle. So what we do is that mercury has a higher temperature and just for lower pressures. So what we do is that we after the turbine process in the mercury cycle, we use the heat released by the steam as a heat exchanger, and we preheat the water coming from the condenser or pump part of the water steam cycle. So we preheat the water, and we insert into the boiler or the superheater, and we provide it to the steam turbine, and we get a work output. So we use this 4 to 1 is that our heat exchanger process, and we use the heat coming out of the mercury cycle to preheat the water coming from the pump part to provide it into the boiler.